and our guest is Senator Ajibola Bashiru, Senator representing Osun Central and spokesman of the Nigerian Senate. And he's been looking into the Electoral Act and has also been speaking on the need for us to be, responsible and let the process work as opposed to whipping up emotions. In that aspect, as you know, Professor Wole Soyinka weighed into the matter, and you could see from the reaction that a lot of people of a particular persuasion weren't happy at all. They had, it looks like they had expected the revered professor to have spoken differently from the way he did speak, but the warnings that he did give, that we should be quite careful, didn't go down well. Yet it seems to be very much in line with the kind of thing that you're talking about. Let the process work.
Yes, I think I'm also not surprised by the reaction of that section that are opposed to what Professor Wole Soyinka said. That has always been their attitude, even in the run-up to the election. In fact, I think one commentator said that if Peter Obi should lose the election, his teaming irreverent and vociferous supporters would have contributed immensely to the loss of that election. I am an active player on the social media, and I discovered that anytime you make any mention of any criticism against Peter Obi and his Labour Party, what you get is orchestrated attack on your person and the orchestrated, lie against, such, person. I think that is antithetical to democracy. The idea of democracy is about heterogeneity of ideas and diversity of views. For people to think that they must be right at all times and that their opinion must be, the most acceptable at all times, is what literally have been captured by Professor as fascism, seeking to impose your view and ideas on other people. And it now also comes to the level of, with respect, the rationality, when some of those expectations don't even meet reality. I wouldn't know why anybody will expect Professor Wole Soyinka to give applause to a direct assault on the integrity and independence of judiciary on a national television. This is not just a literary icon, but somebody from his younger age had been committed to development of institutions and has been a principled person. He may not be right, just like any of us at all point in time, but he deserves to be respected for stating his own view. So the same view we are also canvassing here. You cannot go on national television and be seeking to undermine one of the building pillars of democratic governance, which is judiciary, and you expect all of us to keep silent. Then they start digging into what is even not, even seeking to attack the military prowess of Wole Soyinka. I think that is even the saddest part of it, because I know with respect, some of them who even make comments about Wole Soyinka, if you ask them whether they have read Trial of Brother Jiro or any of his work, they have not even read it. They have not even read those ones that are even recommended for literature, like the one of CD and Baroka, Lion and the Jiwe. They have not read it. So they just, it's just part of those things that we need to, get people accustomed to. We must be able to tolerate other people's ideas and views.
Well, as you know, in this regard, still on the Prof, Dati Baba Ahmed, had said that he would not take up the surprising challenge that Professor Soyinka had, given.
It's not Dati Ahmed that says so. It is my friend Tanko Yusuf that issued a statement, and you know the trajectory of Tanko Yusuf too. He was in the NCP. He was always in all those fringe, political party. And of course, Wole Soyinka, with respect, is a man that is when he's convinced about his perspective, he wants to pursue it to logical conclusion.
Yes. He offered to take part in a debate if Dati Baba Ahmed, was insistent on it. He said, "Look, just give us the same conditions. He wants to express this point again and clarify it where it needs to be clarified. Well, you are telling me now, but I thought I read somewhere that Baba Ahmed, Dati Baba Ahmed had declined on account of culture.
It was Tanko Yusuf.
It was Tanko,
the publicity secretary of the Labour Party.
Okay.
In any event, I don't see Dati Ahmed, with respect, debating anything with Wole Soyinka.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, because it's not only about the fact that there's nothing to debate about. I don't think there's even a basis. For him, if in some other climb, he should have come publicly to apologize for those vituperations he made on the national television. Because notwithstanding that, even the anchor of that program was trying to caution him, he threw caution to the wind, and there was saying things that is not expected of somebody aspiring to be the number 2 citizen of the Federal Republic, of Nigeria. So I think that is the caution that Professor Wole Soyinka gave. And of course, they are the heads of their attackers, and the sponsored social media, with respect, irritants, caught the bug too, and they started, on the folly of their unnecessary, and the business, attack on the person of the Nobel, laureate. But it's also part of the sacrifice you face in leadership. Even some of us who are just starting off in life, we face such, kind of, attack, even when we express, an opinion on national issues or political issues.
The other thing, Senator, is I've also heard the question being asked that why are we continuing to talk about this, seeing as it is where it is? You've explained that some people are heating up the polity. There's a certain incongruity to the whole presentation. You brought up the issue of the election has been conducted, it has been announced, there is a first position, there is a second position, there is a third position. It is the man in the third position who is saying that the election was stolen from him. And this is, well, that is what, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. But let me see what a caller, a viewer has called in, Olufemi in the UK. Let's hear from him. Good morning, Mr. Olufemi.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to the senator.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning.
I do enjoy your analysis. I think we're dealing with a major issue at hand. And I think we're treating it with a kid glove. The reason being that the obedient and sorry for calling them, this sense of entitlement.
No, they bear the name proudly.
Okay, good. I don't want to find offensive. This sense of entitlement, I can't fathom it. I think the press needs to stand up and correct this notorious notion that they are running all around. I can't imagine in this 24th century that a group of people and the so-called vice president to be. I think God did us a great surprise in Nigeria by not allowing this kind of people to hold the reins of power. Imagine they are thinking is the only thing that is right. Nothing else matters. From number 3, you say you won. How? Opiori, please permit me. If you say the INEC did not upload results live, granted. But what has been uploaded with all your polling unit and representatives, based on your situation room, with your collation, has it changed anything that has been uploaded up to date? We need to educate these people. I am really upset, honestly, with all this kind of tantrum all over the places. They do not have the entitlement of violence alone. We too were watching. And that's the truth.
Okay. Thank you very much. I guess, it's best for us to be calm about this, especially as there are processes to resolve all of this. And this is what we're actually talking about. Why those processes aren't being given the room, the air that they require. And I was going to ask Senator Ajibola Bashiru just before the call came in, say, look, why is APC even bothering to go to this extent? Because there are those who are saying that the election is finished and they're still campaigning. Is it because if you feel a need to interject that otherwise let people not believe that indeed some sense is being made out of what is being put out? Why not just
you see,
have a dignified silence?
When lies are told all over and over again, and people don't puncture those lies, they tend to resonate with people as if they are correct. So we cannot, ordinarily, as a legal practitioner, I will not join issues on any matter that is sub judice. But when people come around to seek to undermine judiciary, to seek to undermine the legal process, and if you don't talk, let me tell you what the implication will be. By the time their petitions are thrown out by the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, they will say that, don't you see, we have case. It's because somebody did clandestine meeting with somebody that did not work. So if they have now, on their own, decide to subject their petition to public opinion, let us join them to also subject it to public opinion. We didn't start, this debate. They are the one that started it. If somebody had gone, to the tribunal and is it coming on here, national television, who is not even, I don't even know whether he's even a legal practitioner or whether he has even won any case before, and seeking to interpret provision on the FCT in court and some other things. What did they file in court? What did they file in court? They should let the court, decide. They are saying that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not qualified to contest because Kashim Shettima was doubly nominated. The provision of the law is clear. The issue of qualification is, as at the time of the election, was the person elected not qualified to contest. So if somebody was assuming they are even right, that he was nominated as a senatorial candidate and withdrew by their own admission, second day when he was nominated as presidential candidate, as at the time, February 25, when the election was conducted, was that double nomination. Then the office of the president and a senatorial office, is it the same office that is in issue in that regard? So it is because they are coming out to seek to befuddle, the Nigerian public, that also necessitates, us to put the record straight, so that because the court, like somebody said, I think Mr. Pem Falano, that perhaps the election petition proceedings should be made live. Even when they are made live, they cannot address some of the misconception and deliberate mischief being put in the air. For instance, we have written statements had already been forwarded. What a witness will just come and tell the court in open court, assuming we are even televising the proceeding live, will be that.
Okay, I think the audio dropped again. So let me just take Ernest, who has called in. Ernest is in the UK. Good morning, Ernest.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah. I'm listening to the program, and I can see that the last contributor to the program said that how come the third person in the election race go and make complaint that he's the winner?
Yes.
My own thinking is that the legislators, or let me say the judiciary, sometimes make reference to the past event. The present governor of Imo State, before he became governor, he was number 4 in the race. He came fourth. And after they listened to his presentation, he was found to be the winner. So why are they attacking Peter Obi that he is the third on the race and is coming to go and make to claim that he's the winner of the race? So this is really unfair for such attack.
Okay.
He has got the right to make complaint, provided he proceed.
Okay. Because
that is my conclusion.
Thank you very much, Ernest. Appreciate your call from the UK. And indeed, As you said, Peter B's spokespeople have said, in fact, you can just say that Peter B has said that not only did he win from the third position, but he's about to prove it. But Senator Bashiru, you heard Ernest from the UK and the example he gave, you know.
No, I'm not saying it should not, anybody, even my friend at Congress, they can go to the court and say that he won the election with 14,000 votes. It's for the judiciary to determine whether he actually won or did not win the election. What we are saying is this: when you have submitted a dispute to the courts, don't go and scandalize the court, seeking to harass and intimidate judiciary to your own derived conclusion. And I think that is the point that I'm making. I'm not saying it should not go. If it does not go to court, how will my learned friends who are taking the briefs, how would they be able to take care of their own bills too? So it's entitled to go to court, but don't eat up the polity by saying those things that are seeking to undermine judiciary. It is in the right of anybody to go to court. But when you now begin, after going to court, don't make incendiary statements that would unnecessarily eat up the polity. Whether you are the rightful winner of the election or not would ultimately be determined by the court. But don't, having submitted to the judge of the court, now turn yourself to the judge in your own case and making provocative statements, seeking to undermine the integrity of the judicial process. That's my own point in that regard. Anybody can decide to say that is the winner of an election and go to court. Then the court will definitely have to make determination. But my concern is about eating up the polity and also peddling falsehood about the about person in judicial offices with a view to present a fait accompli to your followers. Eventually, if your case is dismissed by the court, so now say
and possibly misleading the public in the process.
Nobody is compromising anybody.
Okay.
Yes.
Femi in the UK. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. I know a gentleman, Ernest, just called. I just want to correct a notion. Peter Obi has every right to go to court to exercise his right. He has that fundamental, inalienable right. But when you come on national TV and try to blow a dog whistle to set up the system, to heat up the system, that if you go to court and things does not turn in your favor as you would like, is a crazy way of thinking. A whole vice president to be. You say, if the Supreme Judge did not give judgment that favors you, then the country is finished. Democracy is finished. It's a madman that can think that way. Honestly, it is an insult to the collective will of Nigeria.
Yeah, but not that you're calling Baba Ahmed, not that you're calling Baba Ahmed a madman. You know, he was emotional.
Not at all.
Not at all. I just wanted to clarify that. Yeah.
No, not at all. I will not say to that. No.
But he was emotional.
Calling the likes of Onyeka an illiterate because he offered his own alternative view. Come on, man. We're not barbaric in that country. Thank you, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in, Femi. So, Senator, I don't know. You know,
I think that is. You see, the thing is that one needs a lot of insulation from some of the provocative, statements and the provocative attack that this kind of people, make. And of course, it can make a gentleman not to be gentlemanly in certain, circumstances. And the whole essence is that we need to ingrain in ourselves democratic culture. What do I mean by democratic culture? You must be able to know that there are certain building blocks, to democratic process. One of them is judiciary. One of them is also for people to air their opinion in a way that does not unnecessarily undermine other people, particularly the security and development of the people. So when people talk about free press, yes, there is always recognition of free press, but free press cannot be at the detriment of undermining the existence of the society. There is this aphorism in human rights parlance that the liberty of my fist are stopped at the tip of your nose. You know, I can wield my fist the way I want, but the moment it's getting to touch, the nose of Yori Folani, then I've committed battery, assault, trespass to person, and of course, I may also be liable, criminally, for assault. So the same thing with words. So when you are expressing your opinion on an issue, you must give room for divergence of opinion. Okay. You must recognize diversity of ideas, and you must also know that ultimately, when disputes are submitted for adjudication, the judiciary, whether their decision is according to you correct or not correct, is what the society for now has institutionalized.
Okay, I think it went again, but the senator was just about to land there. Thank you very much, Senator Bashiru. I was just about to say that we've run out of time, but we indeed really appreciative that you could make time for us this morning, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, Senate spokesman, senator representing the Osun Central, zone in the National Assembly. Okay, so that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.